Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Mind Body Soul Evolution. So today is the first new moon rather of the new year. It is a new moon in Aquarius. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that and what the year of 2025 is in numerology. So new moons, they start the lunar cycle. The lunar cycle starts on the new moon and it culminates on the full moon. So the new moon is just the little crescent moon, right? It's like the dark side. Everything is in shadow. So if you're doing shadow work, it's a good time to start that underneath the new moon. And then as you start to progress through your shadow work, and 2 weeks later, when we're at the culmination of the full moon, things start to become apparent. It takes a little bit of time to lean into all that stuff. So, our new moon is in Aquarius, and it is aligning with the Chinese New Year of the wood snake. Now, snakes, and this is a time of year about renewing and releasing. Now, we know that snakes in nature, they literally shed their skin. It literally comes off. They have outgrown that outer layer. And just through nature, they go up against trees and rocks. And sometimes if you have a wooded area near you or a little forest, you may be lucky enough to find a snake skin if you think that's lucky. And so that's time to start to plant the seeds for new growth. Yeah, and growth is hard though, right? And I do have a little thing on my screen. So if my gaze is looking off, I wrote some stuff up because there's a lot I want to cover for you today. And I want to make sure I have my thoughts as clear as I can because I can sometimes go off. So the lunar cycle starts with the new moon. And I do a lot of work around the moon's schedule, and most of you know that, doing classes around the new moon and full moon. But when we start to align our life and the way we move through this world with nature itself, that is designed to help carry us through the changes of life and to help to support us. So new moons are about setting new intentions. Full moons are releasing and letting go. Like you set the intentions, then you go in, you do the work, and then with the full moon, it's illuminated to the things that you no longer need. And if we do those things a little backwards, then we start to have some trouble, right? And things don't quite work in our favor. And it can feel like, everybody at some point in time wants to change something, fix something, adjust something in their life. And when we start, we're hit with some limitations, some old beliefs that start to come up in our life that are hidden in the background, things that we were told growing up by our teachers, our parents beliefs as to what is possible and what is not. And then we sit there and go, and I do this myself, right? And this is something I work on a continuous basis. And my shirt says, chill out. Oh, chill that blah, blah, blah out, right? So it's a good time for a chill out shirt. So when these things come up, we tend to outsource our power. We tend to say, oh, see, the universe is against me, or God, source, divine, whatever, the energies are not working for me. Like, this is not for me. Things don't work out. I've been there. This is a constant process for me as well. When these things come up, it's not that the universe is against you. And let's take a moment and let's not outsource our power. We tend, and we've been taught this, now that, the forces are against us, it's not working, or I am this way because of this, and that. This is what my parents believed. This is how my family grew up. So this is what I do. But you have the chance and you have the opportunity and you have the choice to change that, to make a difference, to not go along with what you've been told or taught. That is shadow work. And if you're going to do shadow work, it's at the new moon phase, right? It's that new beginning. There's just barely a little bit of light that shines through because the sun and the moon are together, right? They're in alignment. So you can barely see the illumination of the moon. So we see this, I see this a lot because we know I work at a gym. People setting their resolutions and they get there and they're amped up and then they stop. But they haven't done the work that is keeping them from doing what they want to do. So let's use money because that's always a good example. And if you saw my post the other day, maybe it was yesterday, for angel numbers, I've always been one who notices numbers. And it was $88.88. So I posted that. And yes, that is the balance in my checking account. So it's not about the number in the account. And looking at the alignment of the numbers and the meaning for that. So when you're starting to shift into change or to navigate life in a new way, and you start and things happen or things don't happen, and you're getting stalled, I look for signs, universal signs. So for me, it's numbers. It's generally numbers. Sometimes it's animals, but generally numbers. And when I see numbers that come up like that, it's not the amount that's in the bank account. It could be $8,888.88. The fact that I saw that alignment and I didn't see it out somewhere, like on a license plate or at a store, it was literally in my personal bank account. That's a direct message for me that I'm on the right path. I need to keep going. I need to keep doing what I'm doing. Even if I'm not getting the response that I think I should be getting, or even if it's not going the way I think it should be going, that's a sign that I'm on the right track. So if you start doing things and you're not getting any traction, look for some signs. And if you don't know what your signs are, just ask. Just close your eyes and say, okay, whoever, if you want to talk to a departed loved one, can you please send me a sign? Now, if it is my dad sending me a sign, he will send me pennies. And I tease him about the, inflation going up. So what happens? I find a quarter yesterday. Oh, it's literally I put my purse down at the gym and there was a quarter right there. Okay, so that's a sign, right? He caught up with inflation. So if it's my dad's brother, well, he was one of 11. But if it's his one brother, my Uncle Russell, then it's horses. He was a horse whisperer. He was a trainer and a jockey. So if he's sending me a signal, then it comes up as a horse. So if it's my dad's mom, she sends ladybugs or snapdragon flowers. So, and this I know through life, through meditation, from getting readings, from doing readings for myself. So let's use an example. So let me see, what do I have here? So if you're looking to make more money, whatever change you're looking to affect, we want to make more money. We want to have more money in the bank. We want to have a healthier body. We want to eat better. We want better relationships. It's not about the thing. And this is what we've been taught. You want this. You want this shiny car and this. Some of these things are necessary. But it's about the feeling that the thing gives you. It's not the thing. So if you're looking to have more money in your bank account coming in every month, it's not necessarily about the money itself. It's what money represents. It represents safety. It represents security. It represents freedom. It represents a sense of, okay, I can relax because I can afford now to enjoy. I can pay all my stuff and I can afford to enjoy life. And I can live life on my terms and not on life's terms. So, and I'm having, the yoga class tonight. It's a yin inspired yoga class. So there'll be some gentle flow with tarot cards and some angel cards. And if you're coming or not, if you're not coming though, I invite you to write down, like for 2025, how do you want to feel? What is the feeling you're trying to cultivate? Is it joy? Is it relaxed? Is it stress-free? Is it, and I have some examples here. Do you want to feel safe? Financially safe, and then you can break that down. Financially safe, emotionally safe. So a lot of us have emotional scars that keep coming up. Do you want to feel, empowered? Like you've accomplished this. You've accomplished the impossible. Do you want to feel, Martine, stop it. Sorry. She is scratching on my calendar. Do you want to feel happy? Do you want to feel joyful? Do you want to feel carefree? Do you want to feel abundant? So I invite you under this new moon, whether you're joining me or not, to write down how do you want to feel? And let your intention be based around the feeling. Instead of setting an intention and trying to unwind it, let's put out the feeling that we're looking to create for ourselves. Now, this year is a 9-year. So in numerology, the year is 2025. So numerology would add the 2 plus 2 plus 5, and they equal 9. This is a 9-year in numerology. And we already see a lot of shifts and things happening. We have a lot of planetary alignment that aligns up with things that happened a couple hundred years ago. For the Revolutionary War, for the United States becoming its own incorporated country, for the freedoms that they broke away from oppression to find freedom, and now things are starting to change, right? In the tarot, the number 9 is, and I have cards here, and those of you who don't truly care for the tarot, I apologize. I get that, but there is something behind it. So I'm going to show you 3 different decks and what they have for the number 9, and it's all about the same thing. So in the traditional Rider-Waite, it is the Hermit, and it is an elderly man, what appears to be an elderly man, in a cloak, and that the sky looks blue, but it's cloudy. It's supposed to be like a darkened sky, and he has a lantern in his hand. In the Light Seers deck, it is a girl sitting on the edge of, looks like a cliff overlooking the water, and there are like stairs here, but then again there's that light. It's emanating from within her. And in the Psychic Tarot, it is a woman, and it looks like there's mountains behind her and a pillar. She's got a book, and it's solitude. So all of this is an inner reflection. We are being asked in 2025 to go within, to find out who we are. Who are you on the inside? We're invited to let our light shine, to find that essence within us, because here's the thing. All of us in this world are meant to shine our light in some form or another. Now, not everything is for everyone. We're not all going to be, trillionaires. We're not all going to be like the greatest actor or actress or playwright or musician or pop star or whatever it is. We're not all going to be great religious leaders. We're not all going to be whatever society puts out there. But your calling is to be the greatest version of yourself, of the gifts within you. And how do you find that? It's quieting down the outside, letting go of the chatter, forgetting what everyone else told you. The whole world has told you who you're supposed to be. From your parents to when you went to school, to your counselors in high school guiding you into the process of going to college. What career do you want? What do you want to do with your life? I mean, I was in kindergarten and the teacher asked, we're 5 and 6 years old. What do you want to be when you grow up? How do I know? I just wanted to play. And the boys wanted to be a fireman or a policeman or a doctor. And the girls only got a nurse or a teacher. And that was a limitation. And we were given these parameters. And do you want to be this or that? So all along we've been told and taught and even programmed to who we're supposed to be and how we're supposed to be in this world. But this world is not a one size fits all, and this life is not a one size fits all. So when we start to go into these new moon, this new moon process, and we're starting to plant seeds for something new, like we have to really kind of break through that soil, right? We kind of have to dig in, and it can be a little hard at the top to get in there. And a lot of this stuff has been so ingrained in us that it can feel like a really hard shell to break through. I mean, we feel like we're in this tiny little cocoon, and in some aspect we're told, this is your safety net, stay in here. But the thing is, it keeps you small. And we're not meant to be here to live a small, tiny little life and not to explore ourselves. We are meant to break out of that. We are meant to spread these wings and be whoever it is that you are to be. But you can't be that if you are closed in. And it's not an easy process. I'm not going to tell you that it is. I'm not going to tell you that you're going to get it from one new moon to the following full moon. This is an evolution process. The theory of evolution, as they taught, the evolution from primate to human, I'm not going to dispute that one way or another. But my version of the theory of evolution is the evolution of your soul from one life to another, becoming the higher essence of yourself, the greatest capacity that your soul can become, because you are your soul. You are not this body. We just inhabit this body to go through these lessons to learn. So when we start to do this work, when we start to show up, and it's little things at a time, we're not writing out our whole life for 2025. We're just saying, how do I want to feel? Like, I want to feel not sad. I want to feel like I have purpose. I want to feel like I can put a smile on my face and it can be an authentic smile and I'm not faking it. I want to feel like I can just belly laugh and just feel that sense of joy that comes with it. So what is the feeling that you're looking for? That answer lies in here. We all have the answers in here. We have to get out of the mind, because the mind is kind of the trickster, right? It's kind of the trickster. But when we do the work, and it's a little bits at a time. So moving your body through yoga, which is why I do yoga all the time, which is why I teach it, because it helps to move out that energy, so then I can sit there and start to implant like little seeds of messages to people while they're moving their bodies and while they're getting out the stress and tension and harsh energies of the world. And I can plant these things in there and help them to grow. And their subconscious or their intuition will decide what it keeps and what it releases. When we start that, then we start to see things that were not true or are no longer true for us, and some things that were never true. And then we have to deal with that. Like, we feel betrayed, we can feel lied to, we can feel like everything has been wrong, but it really hasn't. It's just, this is kind of going through the phases of unbecoming everything that is not you, peeling off the layers. And some of these are like a hard shell layer. You really have to kind of crack through and then start to peel things off one after the other. This is a year of reflection. This is a year of finding that inner light, right? This is a year of a little self-solitude. I'm not saying lock yourselves away from everybody. I'm saying give yourself the gift of time, give yourself the gift of solitude, where you're doing something for yourself, you're exploring yourself. It's almost like a human lighthouse. Those of you who live in coastal states or coastal countries, like along New Jersey, we have a lot of lighthouses. Or maybe not a lot, but we have lighthouses. And right, that's what the ships were looking for. Like, how far away is the land? And oh, there is this, and it's a little tiny light. So that's when your light gets really strong, and bright is when it's really, really dark out. So when you're feeling, this is why the new moon, right? It's the dark aspect of the moon. But that's when you can see your light a little greater. And why is this important? And you may not want to do it, right? And you don't have to do anything you don't want. But you're worth it to live the life that you're meant to live. This year is all about solitude. It's about inner reflection. It's about finding that light. Because next year, and I'm just going to give you a little bit. Next year is the Wheel of Fortune. Next year is a 10-year. It is the Wheel of Fortune. It is the turning point. And you get to decide where you're turning your life to. And I will show you. So I'll show you in the Rider-Waite. This is card number 9, right? It is the Hermit. Card number 10 is the Wheel of Fortune. It is a turning point. I will show you in the Psychic Tarot, right? So this is this year. It's a 9-year. It is a year of solitude or self-reflection. Why? Because the Wheel of Destiny is appearing next year. You get to choose your destiny. You get to choose if you're staying in the same thing or if you're going to put your foot out. The Hermit, right? This is the Light Seers deck. And I just bring 3 different decks because everyone will, people associate differently. And this one, she's holding the Light of Destiny. She's actually holding her own Light of Destiny. And this one, the wheel, she is on top of the wheel. She's in tree pose, very grounded, so a very yogic pose, right? She's in tree pose. One foot is anchored into the earth, and that's where she gets her roots. And she has her arms out, spread out. Like, she has no fear because she is turning the wheel of fortune. She is turning the wheel of life in the direction she wants to go. And you get to do this. You get to choose what direction your life goes. You have to do the work. Or not, right? You can choose not to do the work. And I will tell you, I don't think I've read anything, very little, about what I wrote. So, and that's kind of what happens. So happy first new moon of 2025. Happy new moon in Aquarius. And to my beautiful friend, Judy Nelson, big happy birthday to you, my friend. I love you so much. If you have found any benefit from this, just let me know. And if you haven't, then let me know that as well. If you need some more clarity or guidance, I'm always here to support you in your spiritual journey. And so I do a lot of things. I do yoga. I do tarot and oracle readings, and I talk a lot about spirituality because it's all one thing, just different variations. And some of us will associate one way through the yoga, and some of us will associate through the spirituality discussions, and some of us, we like the pictures of the cards, right? We just need a visual to see where we're going so that it all goes together. It's all one. We are all one. We're just here helping one another out. And this is my contribution to you and to the world and to my own personal self-growth. So happy new moon, everyone. I hope you have found value in this. I'm always here to support you in your journey. And I hope to see you on the mat tonight at 7 o'clock. But if not, I'm always here if you want to reach out and get a personal reading or have a discussion. Always sending you light and love. And I will see you tonight.